Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of ChumChat. Today we have a very, very special guest. We've never had a golfer on before. His name is Brandon Wu, just coming off his first victory at the Corn Ferry Tour. It's a pleasure to have him. Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
What's
Yeah,
up,
thanks
man?
for having me. Appreciate it.
Welcome to ChumChat.
Yeah, so I mean, you just won you just had your first professional win. I mean, what did that feel like? A lot of people say the first one is the hardest. So I mean, how did that make you feel getting that one out of your way?
Yeah, it's definitely been like an interesting journey just because I feel like I've been so close plenty of times, but like you said, it's tough kind of getting over that hump and getting the first one. So it's like almost a relief to finally have gotten it done and finished it off the right way. So yeah, it's cool to actually have gotten it done.
That's crazy, man. I can imagine. Like golf's such a hard sport because, like, in soccer, I play soccer and I might be the best team in my league, but that's it. There's other leagues out there. Whereas golf, it's like I feel like it's like if you don't win, like you don't get noticed as much. Like if you don't win, you're never going to be the best. So it's like tough to. I mean, you can come in second and nobody remembers like ever. But in like soccer or other sports, like you can be the best in your league, but there's other teams that are like best in their league. So you can win, but you might not be the best. But in golf, it's like you either win or you just like are there. It's a weird.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like it's tough to win. So, it's like sometimes you get overshadowed, like you be playing well, but you don't get recognition at all just because you're not winning. But yeah,
And I
so
know that
it's tough.
feeling. I know that feeling when Tanner and I go play, for sure. I mean, you hit one bad shot and you're out of the match. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but my short game's way better than Tanner's. Anyway, Brandon, I just want to ask you, how did you get into golf? Golf is usually not your average sport to get into whenever you're at a young age, and it's kind of hard to get into. So, really, what made you get into golf, and how did you get started?
I would say so. I grew up in California, and we kind of live right by a golf course. So yeah, and for some reason, my dad was like really into it. He hadn't really played before, but he was really interested in it. And then we kind of just started learning at the same time. He'd kind of take me to the course. He'd be learning, I'd be learning. So it was cool for me to kind of get started that way. And yeah, just summer after summer, just being so close to the course, it was something to do, and just kind of stuck with it ever since.
Right. How old were you whenever your dad started taking you out?
I want to say 7 years old, more or less. That was kind of like the first summer I started playing.
Okay, that's impressive.
Wow.
Because I know me at 7, I couldn't sit through 18 holes for sure.
Yeah, there's no way.
I hardly can do it now.
Well, Judd's a different player. When you mess up on every hole, you don't really want to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
So, Brandon, we're obviously athletes, just in a different sport. But I feel like all athletes kind of like when you go into like the pro game or whatever, you have that moment where you fell in love with your sport, or maybe you fell in love with a certain player that helped you fall in love with that sport. What was that moment for you, or who was that player?
I guess I can distinctly remember like fall in love with the sport. It was definitely a little bit later, probably not till I think my seventh grade year in middle school. Because like growing up, golf it's like an individual sport. You just playing by yourself, you're practicing by yourself, and it's kind of boring, kind of lonely for kids. You want to go run
Yeah.
around and play soccer, play baseball, whatever.
Yeah.
But in middle school, I got to play like on my middle school golf team, which was super fun because then we're like going out with my buddies every week to go play. So that's when I really started to enjoy it and like fall in love with it.
Yeah, that makes total sense because even now, like, I couldn't just go by myself. Like, I like to have Judd there, some of my buddies. It just makes it way more fun. Even though we're trash, I mean, it's still fun.
Brent, how do you drive a ball straight? Do you have any tips or tricks for your driver? Because I cannot figure out my driver. I've broken 2 driver heads off of the shaft. I've
In
had
2 weeks.
great difficulty in 2 weeks. Do you have
Man,
any tips?
driving is tough. Like I struggle with my driving too. Maybe tee it a little bit lower. Hopefully that helps with the broken clubs at the very
Okay,
least.
okay, good to know. Because I usually try and get it up there as high as I can. So I don't know. In my mind, it's like the higher it is, the further it's going to go. But obviously, yeah, definitely going to do that today. Hopefully, not breaking the other one.
So Brandon, just on a different kind of note, what's your definition of success? Obviously, it varies for everyone, so there's no right or wrong answer, but just let us know.
Kind of interesting question. I don't know. I feel like golf, you always talk about how there's like stuff that you can control and can't control, and I'm sure that reigns true for every sport and a lot of things we do in life. But yeah, I guess just kind of like giving your best effort and knowing that like you did all you could, and then you kind of gave yourself the best chance. And what I mean by that is like kind of like in golf, let's say it's like you kept like a positive mindset out there. You weren't like getting mad at bad shots, and you weren't kind of, sulking out there after a bad shot. It's like you kept a positive mindset, you tried really hard, and you kind of put yourself in the best position to like do as well as you could. I think that's the most important part, because that's what you can control, and the rest of it just hopefully will take care of itself.
Right. That's a great answer. And, speaking on things that you can and can't control, whenever you're golfing, I know me, whenever I make a mistake, I get so angry, and then it just builds off of that, and I start playing even worse. So how do you deal with mistakes and failures on the course or off the course, and how do you learn from them?
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough. I think it's something you just have to kind of learn to manage and through experience. But I mean, if you make a mistake, like especially like a silly one on the golf course, like it feels terrible. Like you feel, you're pissed at yourself. Like you can't believe that you just didn't take advantage of this opportunity, or like you're doing poorly. But I mean, it's crazy. Like, I guess you got to just kind of learn to move on and realize that you can't change what just happened, but what just happened can change like your future. Like if you kind of let it linger and let it affect you, then you're just hurting yourself and no one else. So it's kind of just maybe like a maturity thing too. Like you have to kind of learn to mature a little bit and recognize that, it is what it is, and you kind of just move on.
Yeah. I mean, kind of rebounding off of that, I noticed in the interview earlier that you try not to focus on other people's shots or like the leaderboard. You try to stay, like you said, locked in on what you can control. And I think that's a great mentality to have, like not only in sports and on the course, but off, like in life as well. So kind of what made you adapt to that mindset?
Yeah, I don't know. It took a while. I mean, I'm trying to think back, like my growth, like as a golfer. I remember there's one instance, maybe I was in 7th or 8th grade, right around there, but I used to get pissed all the time, like on the golf course. And there's one day where I hit a bad shot, and I kind of like, I took a swing at my golf bag, ended up breaking 3 clubs in my bag, which is like, I was like, that was kind of like a wake up call. I was like, okay, like maybe it's not good to get so pissed. And like, so after that I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get pissed. And then like, as you get a little bit older, it's like, okay, you recognize like getting pissed doesn't help you at all, instead of like, you just kind of move on and go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it took some learning.
That's definitely interesting, especially I think one thing I'm going to take a little step back from golf. Just it could be frustrating for some kids. They move a lot. I saw that you lived in the capital of China, Beijing, for 5 years. Was that a tough move, or could you just walk us through what was going on then? And even if there was golf, like, is there golf in China? Like, we don't know these things. Could you let our listeners know? Like, what was it like?
Yeah, for sure. So I moved when I was 8 years old, and it was definitely a tough move. Like going from California, we kind of lived in the suburbs, so it's like pretty, calm, relaxed, pretty chill. And then you go to Beijing, and it's like there's people everywhere. It's super hectic. So yeah, that was definitely like kind of a big culture shock and a big change for, like an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And worst of all, it's like you're leaving all your friends behind. You move and you don't know anyone anymore. So yeah, but I feel like when I was in Beijing at that age, like it was okay, just okay for me. But I feel like now looking back on that experience, I'm like really appreciative of it. I'm glad that I got to experience that. And yeah, so like, I guess from a bigger point of view, like it was a cool opportunity to be able to live there for a little bit.
Yeah. And actually, well, I don't know if your family was with you, but did you, because I noticed you went to high school in like Deerfield in Massachusetts. So were you on your own?
Yeah. So I went to boarding school from 7th grade through the end of high school. So when I first started, my family was still living in Beijing, and I was, all halfway across the world in Massachusetts, going to boarding school. But eventually they moved to New York, which is a little bit closer.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I think obviously you're a great golfer and you have a great mentality, but something that I've noticed along like the course of my journey, and I know me, Tanner, and Jed have talked about it before, is the ability to adapt to situations differentiates like good athletes and great ones. And so I think that was definitely maybe something that helped you along the way, being able to adapt to China and then adapt to being by yourself at such a young age in Massachusetts. We went through something similar. Tanner moved from Alabama to Dallas by himself. And so, yeah, I mean, I think we can both agree that helps in your career.
Yeah, it definitely makes you just stronger as a person, and like it helps you on the field, maybe if you didn't even know, but off the field as well, just like figuring things out, and it helps you in life in general. So I know Judd's never been there because mommy and daddy have always been by his side, but no, I'm joking,
That's
Judd.
stupid. You know what I had to go through.
So back to the success question. We asked you what your definition of success was, but the follow up to that is, do you think you've achieved success? And if not, what would it take for you to achieve success in your own eyes?
I feel like that's interesting as well. I mean, you can kind of like chalk up like your different like goals with like the accolades. It's like win a major championship or make it to the PGA Tour, or like stuff like that. So in terms of that, like I still think I have a long way to go, and I'm just getting started. But winning tournaments, like I feel like if you can continue to do that for a long time, like that's also successful. So maybe I'm kind of knocking on the door of success, and I just hope to kind of keep going, and hopefully like at the end of it, you just look back and see what you've all achieved, and hopefully you feel successful.
Right on. Yeah, definitely. Speaking about success, maybe on the, like when you play golf and your golfing career, or maybe off out in life, do you have any goals that you want to achieve maybe this year, or long-term goals in golf?
I guess this year's been kind of interesting because there's no promotion to the PGA Tour. So I think eventually that's kind of the first step. Like I feel like it's better to kind of just break it down into steps, like first, like kind of get some sort of playing status, like have somewhere to play, and then you can try to make it to the PGA Tour. Then it's like win your first PGA event, and then hopefully win a major championship after that. So yeah, I guess the next kind of goal on that list would be to make it to the PGA Tour by this time next year.
Right.
That'd be huge.
See, me and Judd will get there too,
We're
we'll
maybe a bit further off than you are, Brandon, but we're trying to break 100, like 10 or 7 anyway. I just kind of wanted to ask you, as you become more successful in your career, you kind of have your original people with you that kind of helped you along. There's also some more people that kind of just piggyback off your success and really only like you because of your success. So how do you differentiate? How do you know if someone's only going to want to hang out with you because of your success and not because of the person you are or where you were previously?
Yeah, I guess that's an interesting question. I would say like just because of how it's turned out, like most of my friends, like I've known for a long time. Like these are the kids I grew up with or went to high school with, and like this was long before I was even any good at golf. So it's like I know these kids like are the most loyal, and they're always by my side, and they like always root for me to play well and do well. But that's not why they're friends with me, and I know that. So yeah, and I like to keep my like circle pretty small and pretty personal. I don't see any need to like really expand that or whatever. So it's like it's cool to just kind of have those people in my life and know that they're always going to be there for me.
Right. I think that's an important part of success too, is having that centralized kind of fan base, if you will, that have supported you from the beginning. I think that's extremely crucial.
Yeah, that's big time, just to have those people that support you and always on your team, that small circle of close friends. You don't need too many friends, so I think you got it right on there.
Judd, you want to do the rapid fire? Or?
Yeah, let's do a little rapid fire for my boy Brandon.
Rapid fire action, Brandon. So I think I got 9 questions here that I'm going to ask you, and you just answer them as fast as you can. All right?
Yeah.
Golf or swimming?
Golf.
Beijing or America?
America.
Favorite club in your bag?
Ooh, putter.
Oh, that's unorthodox.
Putter.
That's unorthodox. I like that, though. Favorite golf brand?
Titleist.
Favorite course you've ever played?
Ooh, Pebble Beach.
Oh, you play Pebble Beach?
That's crazy.
That's money.
That's the best one for sure.
Oh, favorite golfer?
Tiger.
And then favorite hockey team? I know you like hockey.
The Sharks.
And then last one, favorite sport outside of golf?
Oof, probably football.
Football, really?
Wow. Okay.
So who's your
favorite football team? Yeah.
The New York Jets.
Same. I'm a Jets fan too. Holy shit.
That's so capped.
Yeah.
I
That
swear
is
I'm
so
a Jets
capped,
fan.
bro.
You know I've been a Jets fan.
Get out of here.
Bro,
Bro,
I've been a Jets fan.
You don't have any Jets merch. You don't
Yes,
have
I do. I have a hoodie.
John, tell me why it's every time Judd's like buddy with the same guest fans, like Man United Chandler. Like, what is this?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to suck up.
I'm a fan.
No correlation.
I'm a fan.
There's no correlation. I've been a Jets fan. If you know
See,
me,
when we talk about the small friend group, Judd is opposite. He'll do anything to get more friends. So Jets fan. Oh, I'm a Jets fan.
I am a Jets fan. That's why I said if I wasn't a Jets fan, I wouldn't have put my hand up. I keep my circle small. I keep my circle.
Actually, so how did you end up like moving to Dallas? Like what influenced that?
Yeah, I was like looking for places to move to, like just like kind of the big things are like warm enough to play golf year round. That's kind of a like a good starting point, just because like I really like living in New York and I would have gone back, but it's tough like when you got snow all winter, like it'd be tough to kind of practice and continue to play. So but yeah, I wanted to live in Dallas because you can live in a city, and I live 10 minutes from the golf course. I live 10 minutes from Love Field Airport as well, so it's like it's easy to travel from, which is a huge perk in this job because you're traveling every week. So yeah, being right in the middle of the country with easy airports is awesome. And yeah, like living the city life, just because like when I come back like on an off week, I like just want to hang out with my friends and not think too much about golf, and kind of just live a normal mid-20s life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the
Dallas
plan.
is the place to do it.
Yeah. So what course what's your home course here in Dallas?
Trinity Forest Golf Club.
Okay, me and Jen might have to go try that out.
Yeah.
Might have to go shoot a little under par at Trinity,
Yeah. Show them what you're about.
No, but honestly, Brandon, if you ever have time in Dallas and you ever want to play some good golf, just call me and Judd, and we'll be there. We'll be there to put a challenge there. We'll challenge you mentally. That's our biggest thing. We'll get in your head. So I know that maybe on the course, Tiger might give you might say a little something. So me and Judd, we can back that. We can try to get in your head and play some terrible golf with you.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brandon, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you guys.
Nice
appreciate it.
Get to know you, man.
I think actually, just before you leave, just do you have any like closing words, any advice to like people who look up to you or anything like that?
I guess try and think now. Just being patient. I think I've learned so much about being patient and and sticking with it. Like, I don't know, everyone says like believe in yourself, whatever, but a lot of that, it's like you have to be patient,
Well, thanks again so much. Really, really appreciate you having you on. One of the best spoken guests we've had, fellow golfer. Thank you for that driving tip. I will definitely try and utilize that today.
For sure.
And see how that goes. Maybe I can outdrive Tanner.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll pop up your Instagram handle and your Twitter handle on the screen, so make sure to go follow him and show him love. So we wish you the best, obviously, in everything that you do, and we're gonna stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll keep in touch. Best of luck. We'll see you on the PGA Tour soon.
Sure.
Tiger better watch out. Phil better watch out.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you,
guys, for listening.
We want to thank Brandon again for joining us on this episode. It was a great episode. As you can see, Judson left us as he always does, but it's no big deal. It was an honor. I hope you guys learned a lot. You can learn a lot from someone like that, someone so talented and someone with a great mindset. What'd you think of it, Tanner?
I think the same thing. It was an awesome episode. That's a guy that's up and coming. He's going to be out there on the tour. He's going to win a lot of big trophies. So just keep an eye on him. He's got a lot of potential. And seeing him, talking to him, it's nice to get to know those people and kind of have that fan base of good people. So it's nice to see where he comes from. He's got a good family. So strong guy. It's nice to have him on. So I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Hopefully y'all learned a thing or two about golf and maybe even learned a thing or two about Brandon. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We're going to pop up our Instagram. Go follow, like the videos, repost, do whatever you need to do. Find your success. That's what we're all about, baby. So show love.
Go find your success. Deuces.